It is what it is. I ain't gonna trip on it no more. People gonna say what they want to say regardless. Like if you really think about it, I could go beat Valdez. The next excuse might be, oh, he's too little. When I beat Herring, they gonna say, oh, he's too old. And like you gonna get critics regardless at the end of the day. So I can't take anything that they saying to heart no more because you know, there's a lot of people behind keyboards and all that stuff. They gotta feel me. You never know who behind the keyboard. It might be a little 3-year-old playing around. Like you never know. So I ain't tripping.
Shakur, what did you say to him in the face-off? He started laughing. You were smiling as well. What did you guys say to each other?
I said you gotta break the code. You gotta crack the code. And I had to let him know that this is not a difficult task. And I wanted him to know, come fight day, this is gonna be. I mean, this is a difficult task. Like, it's real difficult.
Shakur, you're the bigger fighter, you're the longer fighter. How do you think that? But how do you think that's going to play itself out in this fight on Saturday because of those two big advantages you hold?
I feel like I'm the more skillful fighter. I'm faster. I never know who really the bigger fighter until fight day because a lot of people
stood with them. You look bigger than him.
Yeah, but when I stood with Jamel was big than a motherfucker, and then no homo. He was big as hell, and then when I got in the ring, he felt little. Like I touched gloves, and I'm like, yo, this dude little. Like I kind of seen that, so you never know who is big until like actual fight day.
You said nobody beats Tyson Fury, so you believe Fury beats Jared Anderson and Joe Joyce?
Oh man, I never go against my brother. At the end of the day, my brother Jared could be any and everybody, but that's two different things. That's like, you know, when they talk about Boots and Bud, like that's two different kind of things because that's like Bud is older now. He's not about to fight Boots. That's not no big fight. Jared is young. Tyson Fury and Jared is not gonna fight each other anytime soon, so it's not gonna be I'm not even thinking about like Jared and Tyson Fury. I know Tyson just retired. Now he's about to go hang the gloves up. Now it's time for Jared to take over.
Yeah, you said Fury is one of the greatest of all time. Do you believe he's greater than like Lennox Lewis?
I mean, I'm just gonna say this, and people gonna hate me for saying it because I gotta be real. I feel like with Tyson Fury's size and weight and his boxing skills, he's one of the hardest fighters to beat ever, like of all time, just because of the fact that he's so he's tall, like he got skills like a welterweight. So I think he'll give any fighter in our pastime trouble.
Even like Ali or Tyson?
Ali was what, 220?
6'2".
He was 220. Like Tyson Fury's 6'9", 280. Like that was like it's fighting a cheat code. Like that's not fair. Like you feel me?
Shakur, how this fight how do you want this fight to be remembered after the years? Because it could be a historic fight.
I want this fight to be remembered that I dominated the fight and I went in there and I controlled the fight and you know, like a lot of Floyd fights. So Sugar Ray Leonard or Pernell Whitaker, you watch them dudes, they go in there, they dominate their fights, and I want it to be like that.
So you want to write a beautiful story so you can tell to your grandkids when the time comes?
Yeah, I want to be known as one of the fighters who fought the fighters in their prime, fought them at their best, and I fought Oscar Valdez when it was time, and I went in there, I beat him at his best.
Should be fighting on this big stage at the Indian Grand Prix. That's been historic fights. What does it mean?
I feel good. I feel like I'm coming into a superstar. I feel like I'm going to be a superstar, a real superstar, like Canelo Alvarez kind of superstar as my career grows, and I feel like it's happening. This is all a part of the course.
Shakur, I got to ask you about this just because I'm like a boxing fan too. I saw you sparring with Terence Crawford in that photo. Can you tell me about those sparring sessions? Like, how is it sparring Terence?
I came up a little different than everybody. I kind of keep sparring in the gym, but I will say Terence pushed me. He pushed me all the time. Every time we spar, he pushed me to new levels.
Yeah, I'm not asking if you got the better of him, but like, how is it to be there in there with him? Like, what makes him so difficult, so tricky when you're in there with him?
I feel good being in there with Terence Crawford, but he's a special fighter. Like, Bud is a thinker. He can do everything. There's nothing Terence Crawford can't do in the ring. He got speed, power. He can switch orthodox, switch southpaw. Terence Crawford is a blessed fighter who got it all.
So based on that, what happens with the Spence fight?
I don't know. That's
let's focus
great
on this fight with
much love to both fighters.
Jamel Herring told me that timing was going to be the thing Valdez is going to have the most trouble with you. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that, but like I said, it's different fighters. Styles make fights. You can't look at Oscar Valdez like he's a Jamel Herring because it's two different type of fighters, and he's probably gonna come in there and try to do something different. Jamel Herring is more so a boxer and puncher, and Valdez is more so a brawler, puncher.
So you really don't think he's going to box? I know you said that he thought he was trying to trick you up there, but you really don't think he'll attempt to box you?
Who would think that? Like, I think, if you really think about it, like, can you imagine him coming out boxing for 5-6 rounds and then he'll be down 6 rounds and then gotta make up for lost time? And I don't think that's a smart idea. So I think that he's saying that to try to trick me. I think he's being a veteran, using his experience, had me think he's gonna go in there boxing. I think he's gonna back up and round 1 come out winging. So that's what I see.
I'm curious. This will be my last one, Shakur. I spoke to Teofimo and he felt that this fight was 50-50, and I asked him why. When a lot of people had you as a favorite, and he said Shakur doesn't like to be pressured, and Oscar does really bad against boxers. And I'm just curious about your thoughts on maybe some people saying this could be a 50-50 fight and the contrast of the styles.
I don't know what he's talking about. At the end of the day, he's talking about I don't like to be pressured, but y'all remember me fighting Joet Gonzalez, right? Joet Gonzalez was a solid fighter who pressed me, who tried to pressure me, and I outboxed him. So I don't know what he was talking about. I don't know what he meant. But that's his opinion. At the end of the day, you can't take his opinion away from him. He got his own opinion. He can believe what he wants. I just got to show him that I'm the better fighter.
All right, thanks, guys.